Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Garmin to smashing a PB at the London Marathon 2025, question mark. It's been a bit of a strange week this week. I've only done 4 runs, so Garmin gave me 2 days off in a row, which is kind of new for me on this kind of training block as we call it. So it's only been 4 runs this week, which, a lot of you know that, I'm actually running 5 to 6 times now a week, but I was originally doing four runs a week in my training plans for the London Marathon for this year. But I wanted to up the game, and as I'm following what my Garmin watch tells me, to hit a very ambitious finishing time. At the moment, my finishing time of the marathon is 4 hours 42. And I'm hoping that the Garmin will help me smash that. I punched in the time in the event part of my watch, and then daily suggested plan gives me what in the end will hopefully get me to that goal. It's a lot of miles in between that I can tell you. So that's how it is. Obviously got confirmed the place for the London Marathon. I'm running for the fantastic charity Seeability. Please click on the Just Giving link down below and donate what you can to the fantastic charity. Really happy to help them for a second year. And that's seeing that I saw the work that they do when I visited them for London this year. And so that was really good to actually see where the money goes. Again, none of the money comes to me, and I don't want any of the money. It just goes all straight to the charity and all that lot. I fund myself to get to London, and I fund accommodation myself, and that's all down to me. But the charity money, I just need as much money to the charity as possible to hit the targets that we get given, and like I said, the more money we can raise above that, the better for them anyway, and get it done now. The sooner we get the money in, give the money earlier, and we're not holding it off until the end of the actual event. As soon as the money gets in, it kind of pretty much goes to the charity, and all the money that you give goes to the charity as well. So there is a custom thing, or there is a bit where you can, Just Giving kind of tell you that, you should pay this amount of money to keep things free or whatever. But some of you have been donating before, and thank you very much for that. But you can actually custom it to nothing. I do put quite a bit in money in myself, and I paid the first bits before, so I kind of custom it down so it's better on your pocket, and also it might even free up an extra couple of quid or some coronas to the actual charity. So please, again, click on the link down below and just give any money you can, whenever you can, sooner rather than later though, please. And that there are a few deadlines I need to hit that help me along the way and keeps the stress levels down a little bit as well. If marathon running's not hard enough, chasing targets on other bits is a little bit stressing sometimes, but it's part and parcel of running for charities and that. So like I say, please just help if you can and when you can. And so back to the running. So the 4 runs this week was kind of pretty much just speed orientated. Normally in training blocks, you kind of have one speed, one long run, and 2 or 3 for kind of base runs, and that just keeping the low easy pace mileage and that ticking over. But Garmin threw in 3 speed works this week. Basically, we had the anaerobic ones, we had the threshold, and we had the sprints. And then on Sunday, we finished off with a long run. So That was all a little bit different this time. I think that's probably why it's threw in the extra rest days, because when you do these speed works, you do need the recovery time, and it really does throw up high recovery times because it's such an intense session, and the last thing that you want to do is get injured by just being so intense. And I mean, marathon training does get intense, but it should all be balanced. And so that's why you have the long run and you have the slow runs, and then you have the speed work as well, and you kind of mix it all together, but don't concentrate on the one thing. And to throw these three speeds in, I was a little bit kind of interested to see how it goes, especially as normally it's base runs in between, but it threw in recovery / rest days. And so obviously the watch goes on by your sleep as well, and as we've spoken before, and how stressful your day is as well. It has a thing called a body battery, which kind of registers your heartbeat, and what it does is, even in your heartbeat, it's got little tweaks in your heartbeat which relates to stress and things like that. So that's what it manages to pick up apparently, and works out more algorithms from that. During work, I can't wear my watch on my wrist, so I have it on my ankle, which obviously has a pulse, and so it might give off a slightly different reading, but then I can still give pretty much 24 hours a day data to the watch, and pretty much let the watch decide what I do. If I'm tired, it knows, and it doesn't kind of force me to do something that could possibly injure me. So I'm grateful for that, and I do really enjoy the way the watch works on this one. It is a bit frustrating when you wake up in the morning and you was expecting to do one run and it's completely changed to something else, and so a lot of us runners just like running, yeah. So to have a watch telling you no, it's like, oh, okay. That was a bit frustrating. I had it all planned out already. So, even down to the breakfast or whatever. So, yeah. So, on Monday, it was actually supposed to be a base run, but I swapped it to a Tuesday because it was... I swapped the run from Monday and Tuesday. I swapped it around because Tuesday was the threshold, which I really wanted to do anyway. But it was my daughter's birthday party. For me, I got to see her on the Tuesday, so I wanted a little celebration with her, and so I swapped the run around, and then Tuesday it gave me a rest day anyway after the intense training session on the Monday, and so Monday was 4 times 7 minutes, and it was at 165 beats per minute, and I averaged 4.43 kilometers per pace-wise, and I was running between 1.4 to 1.55 kilometers in that 7 minutes. So the pacing-wise, it's quicker than what I'm running anyway, and it did kind of get me to it's quicker than my lactose threshold. And which is the bit where your body can't get rid of the lactate in your muscles through the oxygen, through the breathing, and so that's when you start slowing down and all that lot. So this is what these intervals are there for, to kind of, like I say, get us comfortable with being uncomfortable, and also to build on that lactate threshold, and so digging in deep, running through it. It's difficult. I did do this on the run home, and so it's hilly again, as we've mentioned before, and so it's very difficult, and that runs. But it all helps. It's obviously building us up and getting us stronger, and which is ideally what we're doing. And the more I can kind of keep pushing this pace, getting quicker and quicker, it's what I need to do, because if I'm going to complete my goal of smashing this PB in London 2025, I need to get my average kilometer pace up, and as quick as I can, and be able to sustain that. So that's basically what we're doing at the moment, and just building on that. So it was, it was a good run. It had to dig in deep, bits of that, better than last week when I had the issues and that with my guts and that. But it's just something that we build on, and I think possibly with the gut issue. I've noticed that when I take gels on a slow run, it's kind of just mediocre, and I can handle that, and we just plod along as such. And throwing in speed work, that's where I think the issue comes in. I think that the gels aren't or my body's not reacting well enough with the gels to it being a bit more sploshy in the gut as I'm running, or it's not being able to kind of be absorbed, as well as if I'm just doing a slowish pace. And so the speed work, I think, is where the issue is happening. It's something to look into and keep an eye on. And if I can try and train that, or if I do have to swap onto different gels and that, we will find out later on, I guess. But that's one theory that I'm getting with this gut issue on the speed work and that. So, but that was Monday's run. It was, a great effort. Really enjoyed it, and all of that lot. And then Tuesday, it gave me the time off, rest day, and that to spend some great time with my my oldest daughter, and that on her her birthday was a few days before, and so we celebrated together on the Tuesday. So then it leads us on to Wednesday. So Wednesday was the anaerobic session, and which was 8 times 40 seconds at a pace of 3.55 seconds. 3 minutes, 0.55 seconds per kilometer. We had a 3-minute recovery in between, and it was a 15-minute warm up, 10-minute cool down, and the average pace was supposed to be 3:55, but as I started the run and I checked my watch again, I don't wear my glasses, I couldn't see, and so when it said 3:55, I thought it was 3:25, and so that's what I went at, I covered just over 8 kilometers in this stretch. I did it around Bergen Centrum, and that straight after work, and hit an average pace of 3:27. As there is a little video coming up shortly, and you can see about that one. Great run. Again, you really got to put the focus in. 40 seconds is a long time too, and when you're running at these kind of quicker paces and that. So again, it's way quicker than I'm used to, and it's way quicker than what I will be running. But the idea is to build up the aerobic fitness, or anaerobic fitness, as well as the aerobic fitness levels, to kind of help get me quicker and be able to sustain these paces for longer, and hopefully in the end the heart rate stays lower as well, which obviously all helps. You can't do a full marathon in level 4-5 zones and that. So the idea is to try and build it so we can get the zones lower at a quicker pace and all that lot. So I let the watch do all the work. A lot of these interval sessions, and especially the one on Friday, which we'll go on to in a minute. Saturday, sorry. We'll go on into a minute. It's quite awkward. You got 5 minutes of this, 1 minute of that, 15 seconds of this, that. I let my watch do 10 it tells me exactly what, when, and how I have to do it. And 5 seconds before each actual next step, it tells me. And that, so as much as it kind of gets a little bit complicated as I explain it sometimes, and you can see on some of the pictures down below, and as I do this, it can look quite complicated, but it's not, because the watch tells you all the way. The next step and things like that. So really happy with that, obviously. And that, so yeah, another great session. And then Garmin gave me the the Thursday and Friday off. Bit fatigued, apparently, didn't sleep too well. As you kind of hear that quite a lot in these videos. And that, so an unexpected 2 days off. And that, so then we go into the Saturday. Just finished anaerobic intervals in the centre of Bergen City, around the big lake that they got, well, a big fjordy bit. 8 times, 40 seconds at what was supposed to be 3 minutes 55 seconds per kilometre. I averaged 3 minutes 27. Didn't quite read my watch properly, so I think I'm going, well, I was going too quick, and I think I need to see about some running glasses, because I've just put these on so I can see what I'm actually doing now. That was a good workout. So after 2 days of rest, I really wanted to get this sprint session done, or hope it stuck and held, and it did. And this is kind of like what I've just said about the watch making it sound tricky or whatever, and trying to remember what you got to do. And that it was 3 times at 15 seconds at a pace of 3 minutes and 10 seconds per kilometre. And a 15-minute warm-up, and then a 3-minute recovery between each 15 seconds. But after 3 15-second sprints, it was a 5-minute recovery. So it was like 3 minutes recovery per rep, then a 5-minute recovery per set of 3. And then we did that 3 times. And that, so if I didn't have the watch with me, I wouldn't have a clue where or what I was doing. So I'm happy with that. As you know, we've talked about this before. I have quite a hilly area and that, but what I did is I got like a long straight road-ish that has a bit of a hill, and that just down the bottom of the hill from where I live. And that, so I ran down there, and to be honest, I just went backwards and forwards. And that as I sprinted up on this like gradient, it's not the steepest bit, but it's still a hill rep. And that, sprint up that, and then just walked a little bit on to try and get the heart rate down to what it should have been, and then just a little plod back to try and coincide to then turn to get back on the hill bit, and that to go straight up on the next repeat and all that lot. 15 seconds, I can't adjust my pace looking at my watch, whatever, it's just going to go wonky. So I kind of just go full on. I know that's kind of pretty much the pace we're supposed to be hitting as such. The pace was supposed to be 3.10 kilometers. 3 minutes, 10 seconds per kilometer. I averaged just over 3 minutes per kilometer. So I went too fast, quicker than it should have been, which in one way you can say that's great, because you did it and you kind of sustained it as well. It was not kind of really bad reps one time and then a really good rep another time. It was kind of maintained, and that this speed. So I'm happy that I managed to do that. But I think it might take up the recovery time between each workout. At the end of a workout, I get told how long my body's going to take to recover, and I think that by doing it too quick, and I mean, even on your long runs, when you do it kind of in the higher zone that you should have been in, it takes your time, it takes your body longer to recover. And I think that might have happened with these sprints as well yesterday. I mean, it certainly did seem a long time. I think it was about up to 50 something hours of recovery and all that lot. But then obviously you got other stuff to, runs before that. And obviously we went into a longer run, but the time did drop. The Sunday's run was supposed to be 1 hour 40 something, I think you see on the bits. But it dropped down to 1 hour 27. And I think that might be part of the recovery bit, because my body was pretty hammered. And I'm not going to lie. These sprints, they take it out of you. It wasn't a great sunny day, or weather-wise either. It was actually pretty cold on the hands. And so winter's coming here now. I don't want to be running in ice, but we know that's going to happen at some point. Then I might have to hit the tunnel, the 3K tunnel, and that, and do some reps there or something again, like I did last year or this year in the early the parts of the year. But no, another sprint session done. So that was all the sprints this week, and it was sprints. Yes, the threshold one right at the beginning wasn't so sprinty, but it was still sustaining it long enough to keep going. All these runs so far, like the Monday, the Wednesday, and the Saturday, are all paces quicker than what I will be doing in the marathon. So it's building my speed work up, which is kind of what I wanted in these early blocks anyway. But we're supposed to balance it out and all this lot. So it was nice to get back on the Sunday, where we just had the normal kind of base slow plod. So yeah, Sunday's run, supposed to be, it was 1 hour 27 minutes. It did drop down, as mentioned before, but it obviously was going to stay on the 139 beats per minute. I actually averaged 143, but that's not unusual, really, is it? We talk about this. I do generally run a little bit higher than I'm supposed to, unfortunately. Still takes a bit of time getting used to. I kind of didn't feel as comfortable today holding some of these. Normally I see the heart rate creeping up and I can pull it back a bit, slow down or whatever. But today I just didn't feel kind of in tune with that today. So there was a few times the watch did beep at me, telling me I was too high. Hitting 152, 153. And that, so I know that I was out of my correct zone anyway. But yeah, I just wasn't quite connected with it today, and it did feel slow. But then I guess that's part of what's been happening. With these speed workouts, your perception kind of changes a little bit, and then you do run. You're running normally, but your mind is like, geez, this is slow. We should be going quicker and quicker. And that, so it's always best not to get carried away from yourself and that, which, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And I've been doing a lot of that, but sprinting and, but yeah, it's the time. We just have to use the time and let the time gradually get us to where we need to be. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's a long process. And, but it was good today. I covered 13.66 kilometers. I love these runs, and there will be times later on, and I want to see how it fits into my my structured plan through Garmin. That when I do these longer runs later on, I want to hit in some marathon pace / speed work into these longer runs, and that, so my body gets used to that. But we'll see. How it all progresses. I'm learning. As much as the watch is learning, about me and all that lot, I'm still learning about training plans and about how to boost these different ways and all this lot. I love the process, and I'm watching YouTube videos all the time. I'm learning about how to kind of set in and like kind of race pace and all this lot. But then I don't want to go away from the experiment I'm doing at the moment with the Garmin, as I'm really enjoying that. It's certainly giving me the structure I want, and as far as I'm aware, keeping me healthy. And not overtraining me or whatever. My whole productiveness on Garmin has been fantastic since I kind of really took this structure on. It's greens all the way. There's no overtraining. There's no maintaining. It's all productivity or whatever. So it's a curve upwards. The fitness is going up nicely and it's controlled. Really enjoyed this longer run today, and that my legs were achy. I did feel it, and that my calves. Obviously sprinting, there's more work in your calf, especially going up the hills, I guess, as I was doing that. But yeah, it was just a nice, I say control, but like I said, it wasn't, because I didn't have that better control of the heart rates this time. I can do this run normally and even a little bit longer, and I can manage to keep the heart rates from not going up too high, so I don't get a warning. And it's kind of gives me a nice feeling when you manage to get these runs right. Maybe the head wasn't quite on the game for this run and that, but nevertheless I enjoyed it. It was a fantastic run. Nice to get out there and get the distance covered, basically. The distance hasn't been too bad in the thresholds and sprints and that. If you tallied it all up, but to get out and do a nice longer run, it's always very nice. So that's the week done, basically. Totaled 38.7 kilometers. A drop from last week. We hit the 50k bit last week, but we managed to get a nice solid week in the end. A little bit worried when I kind of did have these extra days off of running, but this is still double the amount of work I was doing this time last year, when I was building my base again for this year's London Marathon. I was only doing 20 kilometers a week pretty much as I was building that up. Now I'm doing, more than that. Plus I've got the speed work in, and it's really pushing and thriving. So really happy with how things are going and all that lot. So we'll wrap it up and that. So again, please support the fantastic charity that's given me this opportunity again. It's Seeability. The link is down in the comments and that, or description. Please like and subscribe. It's great. It's a little booster for me. This is a diary for me to kind of show how I'm doing it. And if it can help someone else in their journey, or if someone's thinking, oh, will the Garmin actually do something? We're actually seeing it working now. There was a guy on the running channel just done his 10K PB. And now we know the runner Lucy did a 10K PB, and she also done Berlin Marathon last weekend. So, Garmin is working if you use it correctly. And so this is what we're doing, and hopefully my race predictors will get better and that. I want to try and test them out in the near future a little bit, but on certain distances, not the full marathon yet. Although my full marathon is still way too high on the race predictor. Like you say, please like, subscribe, comment. What can make this better for you guys? This is all new to me. I'm learning and that, and just thoroughly enjoying doing it. Really, just kind of, I love talking about running. You know what I mean? It's I know I'm talking to myself at the moment, but it's fine. I just hope that you guys get some enjoyment out of this as much as I do. You know what I mean? I love doing all this, and we'll keep going until and that. So hopefully see you guys in the next episode, and that, as I'll keep you updated. And like, subscribe, and please donate to the Seeability. Thanks very much. See you next time.